In sport, they say you're just one evening away from glory. And after 2 glorious evenings, days, India is around the corner. The dream is there, but then we've got the biggest magician of cricket, the biggest cricket guru, the biggest cricket player ever, Sachin Tendulkar in Melbourne, talking to headlines today. And Sachin bhai, honestly, you were at the stadium, I was also at the stadium, there were 70,000 Indian fans inside the stadium. Everybody after the win was just talking about 29th March. That is a possibility now, isn't it?
See, 29th March is still far away. Let's not get carried away and start thinking about 29th March from now on. I think something which is really important for the team, not more so for others, to go step by step, because team is going to go step by step. I'm so sure about it. You know, team is not going to get carried away, but the rest around them might get carried away and say we are playing on 29th of March. So it's important to just go follow the process and go step by step.
But the last 2 Sundays have been amazing. Nobody had thought of India being serious contenders. Yes, all of India was saying that we've got to be in the top 4 and this and that. But Pakistan and then South Africa, that was the clincher.
I was always sure. My heart was speaking the same language what my brain was. So, you know, sometimes, you know, being an Indian, naturally my heart is going to say something. But having played this sport, you know, at this level, you think differently. And even my brain was also saying that we will be among the top 4. Because for last 3 months, we were competing against the top side, who knew the Australian conditions better than anyone. And suddenly you have some third team who's come here and practice only for whatever 15 days or 10 days, played couple of side matches, and then they're facing India, who've been there for 3 months. So we are a couple of steps ahead of them as far as getting used to these conditions and getting familiar to that bounce and pace. And that's why when we played the other sides, we could, it was evident that, you know, we were more comfortable with bounce, pace, and the bowlers also, when they bowled, they hit the right areas.
Any difference in the 2 victories that you've seen against Pakistan the last Sunday and against South Africa this Sunday? Have India also raised their game from a Sunday to another Sunday?
I remember last Sunday I spoke to Rajdeep, and Rajdeep asked me one question, said, you think we can bat better? And I said, yes, of course we can bat better, because I know the talent, I know their capabilities. And we did. We batted beautifully yesterday. Finish could have been better, but at no stage, you know, we felt that we were short of ideas. At no stage it looked as if South African bowlers had tied us down. We were prepared to hang in there and also waiting for that chance to put the loose ball away. And we did so beautifully.
Can we bat better? That's the question now. Can we bat even better?
We can finish better, and we will get to see in time to come, because I'm sure the team is thinking about it and finding ways to get that consistent better finish. You know, that formula is going to be critical, and the day it clicks, it will be a day to cherish.
You know, there was this feeling that 300 runs on the board, the Indians would struggle because of the bowling. The bowling, as it turned out, is India's strength now in these conditions.
I thought after the first match itself, I said that the body language was fantastic. When the fast bowlers bowled, they ran in hard, they hit the right areas, and also backed it up with good short balls. I thought bowling in yesterday's match was better. The first match, the body language was lovely. I mean, I got excited when I saw, I shared with my friends that I said, this is something new that I'm seeing, and I'm enjoying this. It only got better yesterday. You know, they bowled the right lengths, and there were very few loose deliveries where South Africans could free their arms, and whenever they tried to do so, they couldn't manage those big hits. And then the planning was very good, and above all, they followed that with terrific.
The execution even better, and the batting also, because in both the games there's been a pattern. The Indians would see off the new ball. We know that there are 2 new balls being used. You see off the new ball, and then you accelerate. you keep changing gears. The batting has been fantastic. Shikhar Dhawan in both the games, Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane. The way he counter-attacked yesterday was amazing.
I think Shikhar has done brilliantly in the first two games, and I'm hopeful that he will continue with this performance. You know, there is no guarantee in this sport. This sport is full of uncertainties, but Shikhar must be feeling on top of the world now. You know, he must be feeling so confident. And I said earlier that, you know, he is one impact player.
You'd backed him then?
If he does well, yeah. I mean, I know his ability. Yeah, but I think we should not give our judgments too soon. You know, we sometimes get into this habit of passing judgments, and you know, they need not be always right. And I felt someone like Shikhar, who gets going, he's going to be an integral part of the team. Virat has been consistent, and the first match, the way he batted, he started off in a similar manner and was looking very good. That important partnership between Shikhar and Virat up front was also critical. But the icing on the cake was Ajinkya batting at number 4. You know, a brilliant display of effortless shots. When Ajinkya plays big shots, somehow it you know, seems that, you know, he is not looking to play a big shot. He is just looking to time the ball and just lob it over 30-yard circle. But on occasions it fell just short of the boundary line, and the shot that he played off Dale Steyn was amazing. 6 over mid-off was effort.
And the one of Morne Mokul, which was just like a tennis shot. It
amazing.
Was just like a slap.
Yeah, because, you know, when Ajinkya looked in control, and he played at a phenomenal strike rate. You only realize that when you look at the scoreboard, but when you're looking at Ajinkya, you never feel that, you know, he's going to come and destroy you.
Shades of Tendulkar in him in some of the shots that he plays.
He's Ajinkya Rahane, and I've seen him, you know, as a teenager, and then, you know, he's flourished beautifully. A very hard-working guy.
And Dhoni said he's a team man. You give him any batting order, you give him any field position.
He's not only a good team man when he's playing in the first 11. Even while he was not playing in the first 11, he was a terrific team man. And the true test of a character is when you're not in the playing 11, or you've had a bad day, and then what you do is what matters. And Ajinkya has impressed me in that.
And Shikhar also, you know, full marks to him for showing the mental ability. You said that you've got to back a player who's got the ability, but for the player to believe in himself when you're not scoring the runs, when you're down and out, for him to come back in a World Cup game, 2 World Cup games back to back, he's shown his mental ability as well.
Yes, confidence does wonders. Player is always confident of himself, but he feels even better when others around him start thinking that, oh, this guy can go out and do something special. And that's a terrific tonic, and which I'm sure Shikhar is starting to experience that, and it's only going to help him play better and better.
And clearly he was ahead of the bowler in his mind also, because he was thinking ahead. A few of the shots that he played.
He's a fearless player, and you see that. You know, he loves accepting challenges, and he's not afraid to play shots. You know, when the balls were there to be hit, he was ready to put them away, and there were occasions where he was also prepared to leave those.
And he's got this liking for ICC tournaments, because in the Champions Trophy also he started off so well. He was the man of the tournament. India won. So he scored 7 centuries, one-day centuries so far. India hasn't lost a single game. He's also a lucky charm for India.
I hope he continues to do that, because it gives us a chance to smile.
A couple of knockout centuries as well.
Yes, I mean, it would be nice to have him do so well all along the way, because we've started really well, but something which is going to matter the most is how we finish.
Virat was very disappointed with the way that he got out. Maybe the ball that he got out didn't deserve a wicket.
Yeah, I mean, it was a soft dismissal. He timed the ball well. I mean, had the ball been, you know, literally 4 yards away on either side, it would have been a fantastic boundary. And sometimes, you know, it happens. You hit the ball the way you want, but just that the direction is not right.
And he's shown maturity as well in his batting, because this is a different Virat that we're seeing now.
He's
Maybe
shown
according to the
maturity
team's,
since
needs.
quite some time, so you know.
But he's cut down on his flair in the World Cup games, especially both the games.
I don't know the planning of the team, but I'm sure all the players are out there to execute their plans. What they've been asked to do is something that you need to go out and.
And Rohit must be feeling left out, because two big games.
It's fine, you know. You're not always going to go out and score runs. And yesterday was a little unfortunate. He slipped, and that is what you know, cost his wicket. These things are part and parcel of the game. But you know, a big innings is around the corner, I can see.
And that's all the more good news for India, because if India has been scoring so well, Rohit hasn't scored too many. Rana failed yesterday. He played very well against Pakistan. Dhoni down the order is also fickle, which means that maybe this is just 80% of India's batting which is performing right now.
Yeah, but the good thing is, you know, Shikhar has got runs.
Ajinkya and Virat.
Virat has scored runs. Ajinkya has scored runs. Raina has scored runs. So out of the top 6, 4 guys have done well, and the remaining 2 can be really destructive. Rohit and Dhoni.
And not a
So you know, it's good to see that in the first 2 games, 4 guys have done well, and the remaining 2 will also shortly join the actions.
And that's not good news for other teams, because going into the World Cup, obviously the teams had been looking at India's track record in Australia. Maybe a semi-final spot, everybody thought that maybe India will win the quarterfinal, but now India will be a serious contender.
India is a serious contender, and I always felt that way. Fortunately, the bowling has backed good batting. You know, both matches we put up a very good total, and we followed that up with terrific start, you know, up front, because you know, even for the spinners to come and bowl well, you need good starts, and we've provided terrific starts in both the games. All 3 fast bowlers have impressed me. They've bowled well, they have been aggressive, their body language is something to talk about, and I saw that in the first match itself, and they did a better job last night.
Blessing in disguise for India, because this obviously wasn't India's first choice bowling attack for the World Cup. Ishant got injured, Bhuvneshwar had a niggle, so he couldn't play. But Mohit Sharma has complimented both Umesh and Shami very well. He's come out very well.
It's also unfortunate when players get injured, because I know, you know, I have been injured a number of occasions, and then when you miss out a big tournament that you've been waiting for such a long time, it's disheartening. And on the positive note, the backup bowling attack that we had, who were not supposed to be part of the squad, have turned up and have done well. So it's good news for India that the backup bowlers have also done well, and you know, slightly disappointing that, you know, the injuries happened to Ishant and Bhuvneshwar. I feel bad for them.
Bhuvneshwar might just come back any moment, but then the fielding, when you were sitting in the stands and that run out happened, AB de Villiers, the tournament's favourite batsman, that changed the entire complexion of not just the game, maybe the tournament itself.
It's too early to say that it has changed the course of the tournament, but definitely it affected the result. But if AB and Duplessis batted till the 35th over, then the game could get really close, because they have good finishers. Miller is a big hitter. Dumini is a very clever batsman. So that wicket was the turning point of the match. Brilliant fielding by Mohit. I think he's a good fielder. He's got a very strong arm and accurate arm. You saw, I mean, where the throw landed. You know, it was right there next to the stumps, and what a terrific display that was.
And AB de Villiers said after the game that he was so embarrassed, he just wanted to shut himself in the room and feel sad about the defeat. It'll also be a wake-up call for South Africa, because they came into the tournament as the #1 side perhaps, but then there are chinks within that team.
See, you might be #1 side, but you still got to go out and repeat that performance on daily basis. You You can't sit back and say, oh, we just turn up and we're going to win. And I'm sure South African team knows that, because invariably someone who's at the top is working harder than the most. And you know, South Africans are known to get back, and they will compete. They will compete hard. They're not going to sit back. And this performance must have motivated them to go out and work harder. And they are prepared to do that. I've known many South African players closely, and then how hard they work, and then they're not going to sit back.
But then, were you surprised? They seemed disjointed because mid-on, mid-off were up, and the bowlers were bowling length balls, slower ones. They were getting hit over the top.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it would be unfair to pass any comment on that, because you know, if they had planned something and it didn't happen, then you know, things look a little different. And I was sitting upstairs in the stands, and I felt, oh, this doesn't look right. I mean, why are they bowling those lengths? In a way, you know, being an Indian supporter, I was happy that they were doing that, but I felt you know, the planning was not up to the mark yesterday. The lengths or what they were trying to do was not what we had seen in the past. In the past they had done something different, and this match it was completely different. Maybe it was part of their strategy which didn't work out. I thought our strategy was far more solid, and execution was also fantastic. We bowled. I'd like to reiterate that, you know, to bowl the right lengths in Australia becomes a key factor, because there is bounce and bit of pace in the wicket. If you don't hit the right lengths, you can go for a lot of runs.
And there would obviously be two ways of looking at the Indian win. We would say that India played very well, and there'd be some who would say, oh, South Africa just choked.
I would like to say that India played well. When we play well,
you force them to.
Indian team. Yeah, I mean, we forced them to bowl those lengths. You know, if we had kept blocking the balls, they would have continued bowling there. But we were, you know, courageous enough to take up those challenges and put the balls away, and then that forced them to think otherwise. So I thought we played well. Impressed
with Dhoni, the captain? Both
yeah, I mean, you know, when you play overall good cricket, then you know everything seems nice, and you don't point fingers at, oh, this is something that we have not been able to achieve, and bowlers didn't bowl well, batters didn't run well, or they didn't play those big shots, whatever. But when you're playing well, everything looks nice, and I just hope that we continue to do this.
And the challenge would now be for the Indians to keep the momentum, the motivation, because you've got games which are not so very important now. You would assume, oh, there's a weak team, but then that could also spell complacency.
Each and every game is important.
There could be complacency, and then, you know,
I feel their players won't be complacent. You know, players are clever enough to understand, you know, not to relax at all. Especially when you've started the tournament so well, because for last 3 months things were not going according to our plan, and then suddenly when you play against some other opposition and things have fallen into place, you don't want to, you know, step off the pedal. That is when you press the pedal as hard as possible, go out, work hard, enjoy. When you're not practicing, enjoy, spend time with each other, relax, go out, practice hard and play hard cricket.
2 weeks the team is going to be in Perth. They'll play UAE, and then they play West Indies. Do you see any challenge coming India's way?
I see that match as a big game, because West Indies at Perth will be a handy customer, because though they are missing Sunil Narayan, Bravo and Pollard, 3 of their key players, but I still feel
and Gail's not scoring runs.
Yeah, some stage he's going to click. Some stage.
So hope it doesn't do that against India.
And you know, it'll happen. But you know, I don't know which match he's going to fire. But I somehow get this feeling that, you know, Perth match against West Indies is going to be a big game.
And then India go to New Zealand. They play Ireland in Hamilton. They play Zimbabwe in Auckland, and that's right at the business end of the tournament, because India cannot slip that moment. There will be knockouts just looming.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that playing Ireland in
Hamilton,
conditions are similar,
For them.
New Zealand and Ireland, it's cold, similar kind of surfaces. Whatever I saw of Ireland, I thought they played fearless cricket.
Yes.
They played some big shots. So again, it is not one of those teams where you can run over and finish the game quickly. They will play fearless cricket, and they would have a point to prove, that we can't be considered as pushovers. We are going to compete and compete hard. Zimbabwe, again, unpredictable side. When their batting clicks, there are some batters who can play big shots, and I'm sure the team realizes that, and they would be on their toes, and then they will plan and approach the game just like they did against Pakistan and South Africa.